せかすなよ、ドクター。私は逃げねえって。
In Guide Ahead event, we are introduced with Welfare Push-Stroker Operator, Enforcer. Equipped with shotgun-like weapon, this Sangta Push-Stroker were able to push enemy on a straight line. Even if there are enemy behind him, he can still push them. On the same rarity, we have Kung Fu Girl F-Eater. F-Eater is Rusher Push-Stroker with slow effect after pushing enemy. She also has physical dodge as her survivability kit, so F-Eater can survive longer on the field as long as she facing opponent who dealing physical hit. Both of their performance can be compared because they have the same rarity, archetype, and a bit similarity. This time, allow me to compare overall kit of both Enforcer and F-Eater. There is slightly difference between their stats, but Enforcer are a bit higher than F-Eater. Their defense are only different by one number. Because of his Welfare Operator status, he has slightly higher DP cost and redeployment time. Unlike him, F-Eater has no increased DP cost and redeployment time. When you playing Push-Stroker, usually you put them on specific tile to push back enemies or into the hole, so I can say Enforcer overall stats are higher. Enforcer and F-Eater talent sure have difference. Enforcer ignores certain amount of defense to semi-heavy or heaviest enemy with level 3 weight like heavy defender. But I found this talent not really good enough or synchronized enough to Enforcer, because Enforcer are not a pure lane holder, but he is an operator focused on pushing back all enemies based on his archetype. F-Eater has survivability from her talent. She has passive physical dodge, so F-Eater can defending enemy hit as a bit longer if it was enemy who deal physical hit. And also, I have a question. Where is our Kung Fu Girl survival tag? For first skill, Enforcer pushes back enemies and stuns them if they collided into high ground tiles, and F-Eater pushes back enemies and slowing them on decent duration. Enforcer pushes back all enemies in his range without damaging them and stun them. The stun duration will increase if that enemy is collided into high ground tiles. F-Eater are still the same, but has increased attack and longer range, so she can push enemy even they were a bit far away. Based on their skills, F-Eater offers you the rushing Push-Stroker gameplay because she can push back all enemies in long range with slowing effect as bonus pushing after effect. But there is one fatal weakness. She cannot push back enemies behind her. Enforcer offers you pure pushing without any damage, but can make you play safe because he can push all enemies in range even if there are enemy behind him as long as they still on Enforcer range. Enforcer can also stun them, so Enforcer are effective enough if you bring him on stalling strategy. Because of his Welfare Operator status, Enforcer potential is relatively hard to increase because you can only get his potential from Guide Ahead event, and easy to obtain because you can get him after clearing GA5. Outside the event, you can only use 4 Epic Specialist token to increase his potential. Here is potential upgrade detail. His potential upgrade not different from other Welfare Operators. F-Eater is easier to increase. You can obtain her and increase her potential anytime. Depend on your luck and your belief in the heart of the card. From Recruit, you need at least Specialist or Shift with slow tag. Here is her potential upgrade detail. At 4th potential, our Kung Fu Girl has increased attack speed slightly, so she can attack faster. But this is not a game changing because F-Eater is not DPS based operator. Both Enforcer and F-Eater has good pushing after effect as Push Stroker. Both of them has strength and weaknesses. If I talking about which one is better, I will put this indicator: which range is longer, which pushing ability is good, and which pushing after effect is good. For range, F-Eater is good. She has long range as Push Stroker, so she can play safe because you don't need to wait for enemy to get nearby her to push them. For pushing ability, Enforcer is superior because he can pushing crowd even if they are behind him, as long as they are on the same tile as Enforcer. For pushing after effect, I will choose Enforcer because he can stun enemy after pushing them, and the stun duration increased as long as enemy he pushed are collided into high ground tile. For overall performance, I pick Enforcer as the good Push Stroker because he can make one lane safer thanks to his pushing ability and his stun to save sometimes. Enforcer is the good Push Stroker I would like to build because of his overall performance on Push Stroker archetype. Enforcer also can be put on stalling strategy because of his stun effect after pushing, and can pushing back enemy even if they are behind him. I think that's enough for today's comparison. I hope you enjoy my video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share this video to your fellow Arknights player, and leave a comment below if you think there's a point I miss. Pikachu out. Adios.